Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey today. These are the readings for the human design profile, and also there will be readings for the human design types. So stick around, for that. We're going to be using the Spellcaster's tarot, which I love because this is probably one of the first 5 tarot decks I ever got. And I haven't used this deck probably actually in years. So before every reading, I do ask the deck if it wants to do all 16 now of the readings, and I'll just shuffle until it kicks out basically like a yes or no card. And the one deck I wanted to use, because I also haven't used it in a few years, gave me the 3 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. And I was like, okay, you are not in the mood for work. So, so then like this one was actually sitting right next to it. And I was like, ooh, what about EU? And it was like an immediate yes. So I love that. Also, the other deck that I wanted to use, part of the reason why I went to that one was because this wasn't recent. It was like in the last couple months. I actually went back and watched the first videos that I put out. And I think that was in December of 2021. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to see. I wanted to see how it was or whatever. I don't know. But I'm not going to lie. I also was really expecting to be kind of embarrassed or like cringe, and I really only listened to my sun and rising ones, but I was not embarrassed or like cringy or anything, honestly, at all. Like, I was actually really fucking proud of myself, which is so funny because I was not expecting that reaction, which, that kind of sucks. Like that, I really do need to like give myself a break. But I left a comment though on every video. And of course I just, copied and pasted, but I just left a comment that said, hey Liz, this is Liz from 2025. And I just want to tell you like how fucking proud I am of you because you started this, like I was so nervous and I thought for sure you were going to be able to hear it in my voice. I thought for sure I was going to be stumbling over my words. I thought for sure that, that I was just going to like be continuously losing my words because I do that a lot, and just fumbling all over the place, but I wasn't at all, or not maybe to the extent that I thought. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so I left, a comment and I was just like, man, like I am so fucking proud of you. And you're the one that felt the fear and did it anyway. And granted, I don't know exactly what I said in that comment. I could look it up, but something along these lines, just telling myself I'm proud of myself, because that past version of me is why I'm even still here. And also why I'm going to be teaching an intro to tarot class at this wonderful, experience boutique next month, which I never thought I would do. So it's just, it was really cool. And I'm so glad that I did that too. Also, the other thing that was kind of funny is that in the intro of those videos, I was like, the acronym for Heretic Owl is HO. So I was like, if you're a hoe, subscribe to the channel. Or if you want to be a hoe, subscribe to the channel. Which I just think is absolutely hilarious. Like, hoe is one of my favorite endearing words. Like, I do not use it like at derogatory. I know people do. I don't, but yeah, so if you want to be a hoe, subscribe to the channel. Be a hoe with the rest of us. But also, like, you know, Heretic Owl Tarot is hot. So, you know, being a hoe makes you hot, you know, or whatever. I can't say, like, you know, do hot girl shit because I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion trademarked that. But anyway, just funny. Just funny. And also too, like I said, like I just remember being so fucking nervous. I literally, I had a phone that barely had any memory on it. I had a computer that barely had any, I could literally only do one video at a time because I didn't have memory or storage on like any device, you know, to actually do multiple videos at a time. And I was using like a folding table, and I had my, I should have grabbed it actually. I had my little owl stone or whatever, which I do still have. But anyway, yeah, very cool. So that's all I'll say. This is the second time I'm actually recording this intro because the first time I was like blabbering on for literally like 15 minutes. So that's it. Oh, that's not it. We're going to do these readings a little bit different this time. And this is also like the way that I've been reading for myself lately. I've been pulling like 2 sets of cards. The first set is the lie, which is the obstacle, or of course, I mean, literally the lie, right? That we're either telling ourselves that usually is like what we're telling ourselves. You know, it could be the limiting belief, old stuff, you know, whatever is also like holding you back or keeping you small. And then the other side is going to be the truth. And of course, right, I mean, I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory. It's a little bit similar-ish to the 333 readings that I do, which is like the door and the key. Similar-ish. But I've already done the 1-3 reading actually, and oh my gosh, that was beautiful. So no doubt all of these readings will turn out that way. And also I believe that the truth is so imperative right now, and especially because we are being bombarded with the depth and the expanse of lies that literally like our whole lives, you know, like the economy, the government, the, you know, the, you know, billionaire class, or, you know, like whatever you want to, whatever, you know, we are literally being bombarded with like how much of that shit is lies, how much we've been fed, you know, like lie wise. And, I think it is imperative, like I said, right now to really hone in on your truth, accept what is true for you as well. And also, again, like even recognize the lies that we're telling ourselves, the limiting beliefs that we're telling ourselves, the identities that we've been, you know, carrying around or operating from, the conditioning, really. Because, you know, I mean, with human design, like a big part of it is the deconditioning process. And I really do think that by more people honoring their own truth, it really is, you know, going to shift the world. So that's kind of also like where that's coming from. So I will officially leave it there, and we'll get into the readings. Great. So this is a reading for the 3/6 human design profile, the martyr role model. If you don't know what your profile is, there is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. Your type will be listed on there as well. So look out for those readings once I get them posted. And I mentioned in the intro, but just in case you didn't watch it, we are doing what is the lie and what is the truth. The lie, I mean, it might be like self-explanatory, but it's like, you know, what are you, the self-limiting belief, or, you know, what's a story that maybe you're telling yourself, or how are you perceiving a situation? And then, of course, the side that's the truth is, you know, The truth. So, what is the lie for our 3 6s? Interesting. We have I'm going to put it upright. The Justice card and the 9 of Cups. And then the Truth. We have the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Is everybody... Like, is everybody in here? I mean, sorry for laughing, but 2 things. We have the 9 of Cups in the lie. We have the 10 of Cups in the truth. We have the Justice card, which is the number 11 in the lie. And we have number 12, the Hanged Man, in the truth. I don't, I mean, the odds. The odds, though, truly impossible. But interesting. The first thing I heard over here was just like, honestly, and I feel like the lie is going to be a bit of a call out anyway, or like a read, because the first thing I heard is just like, I never get what I want, or I never get what I deserve, or my wishes never come true, or something along those lines. Or, even just like feeling like you deserve differently. Or, yeah, I mean, it's like not having your desires met. And it's like, what is the holdup here? It's like, feeling like you have done everything that you should have done, whatever. It's like, doing all of the things that should have resulted in specific things, but not feeling fulfilled, maybe not feeling purposeful. The Justice card is literally fairness and balance. It's Libra, Venus. The scales balancing, trials, judgments. And in this specific card, I don't know if you can see it, but her hand here is bone. And she's holding a pomegranate, which, like in pomegranate or in tarot, pomegranates represent fertility. Fertility generally represents opportunities, creating something. I mean, like literally creating something out of your own image. It's interesting too that even just the hand, one hand being down, one hand being up, it's the as above, so below thing. And that means your outer world mirroring your inner world, receiving what you are putting out, what you are giving. This card, like, also to me, I haven't even actually read from the book on this card yet, but it also like feels like triumph. That is the word that I could not think of in the 3-5 reading, and it like came right to me for you guys. So that's how it wasn't meant to. I wasn't meant to say it in that reading, But triumph. Just as the wheel of fortune keeps turning, so does the wheel of karma keep spinning, and the hand of justice keeps falling. Symbol of human law and karmic order, justice settles the hash of those that nature has failed to sort out through her ordinary whims of faith. When things fall out of balance, justice swoops in to make it fair and make it right. And also, this is on the side that is the lie. So like the reversed meaning would be authoritative action taken against the current, bad judgment, bias, a need for further deliberation, an abuse of power, karma is reaped. And with a 9 of Cups, that is wish fulfillment. It's individual, like 9s are individual completion. That's when, we personally reach a point of satisfaction, success, peace, surprise, right? And it's our idea of whatever that feeling would be. And also even just the fact that there's this genie depicted here. It could even just be again, like the sense of it's starting to feel like maybe whatever this 9 of Cups is for you, whatever would make you feel purposeful, fulfilled, loved, even like whatever wishes you see like coming through, like maybe you have, and we can see that you have like spent a lot of time here, but it's like what was your motivation behind that? Like, is it conditioning? Because a big thing with human design is the deconditioning process. It's recognizing where you have been conditioned or indoctrinated, or, like just expectations, beliefs put on you by society, culture, your family, yourself even. But it's like, this is kind of faulty information, or bias was in here, bad judgment. And like the bad judgment would come from faulty information. And also it would come from not honoring your own feelings. Cups are feelings, right? It's intuition. It's how we're feeling about ourselves, our lives, the people that are in our lives who we're interacting with. It's love. And of course, like how do you give love and support? But more importantly, how do you receive it? And this could even be like the way that you receive love, or the way that you interact with either your intuition, your emotions, love. And of course, love can be romantic, friendships, jobs. But it's like this should have made me feel a certain way, and it didn't. Or, I'm putting all this energy into what I believe to be my hopes and dreams. But like deep down, is it? Is it yours? Is it your idea of fulfillment? And also too, so with a 3-5 reading, the Justice card came out in the lie part as well, which is so interesting because literally the Justice card is about truth. So that's major. When the truth card comes out in the lie side of things, there's something that's being avoided. There is a truth that is being avoided, or it's being manipulated to fit a square peg into a round hole. And The reason why, too, like I was saying that square peg in a round hole, like you can eventually fit a square peg into a round hole, right? Possibly. But it would literally be forcing that square peg. Like, I mean, like you would have to like shave off the sides of it by like jamming it into the round hole. That sounds like so sorry for the way that that sounds. If anybody else is picking up on that, I don't know, maybe my mind is just in the gutter, but that's trauma. And without even like going so far as to like, the imagery of that, even trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, that is trauma. And especially if like we just continuously do it, if we continuously avoid a truth, but it's like we're trying to convince ourselves, and maybe like it's try like with this genie here, and of course like genies, we think wishes. It's like why can't I just do this? Why can't I just get this? Why can't I just be happy about this? Whatever this is. An emotional matter that has been avoided or ignored. An organized life is thrown into disarray, chaos, an attempt at more emotional intimacy from one who usually attempts to maintain distance. A need to get organized, a need to get plans and resources in order before one gains the success they seek. Yeah, like this is the approach or the feeling of it. I mean, we can say feeling because we have water out here. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, the Hanged Man. Also, I know like this came out sideways, and I immediately heard in my head upright, so that's why I did that. But I don't necessarily think that it changes the meaning if it was sideways. I think it would just almost reiterate that like there is some sort of imbalance with the truth happening here. Maybe an imbalance of karma. I mean, I read the reversed meaning from the book anyway, but avoidant, off kilter, just kind of something being off. The Page of Pentacles, this is money. How we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's being practical. It's taking practical action as well. I also see, the Page of Pentacles specifically as the apprentice. They're the newbie. They're the one that's out there trying something new, a new job, a new, field of study. It could be changing careers as well if you are not feeling fulfilled here. It could be venturing out on your own if this has to do with a relationship. It could be just finding different communities or groups that are more in alignment with your interests, if that's what it is. But it is new, and it is something even that like you invest in. It's like it literally investing in yourself. I mean, they're carrying around, this big ass pentacle, and it's just kind of like what do I want to do? And maybe it is trying multiple things of interest. An enthusiastic individual who is eager for experience, a workaholic, a student, learning, an approaching adventure, focus on a goal, diligent study, a hardworking and dedicated individual, practicality, concentration, overanalyzing, knowledge and experience are being acquired. A well-formulated plan comes from thinking practically. This is like instead of like waiting for the satisfaction to come up or waiting, to feel accomplished or satisfied, like whatever, this is allowing yourself to be curious. Like if there's got to be, because this card is out here, like there's got to be something that you have an interest in. Like a job, a community, a study, a craft even. It could be taking workshops, it could be taking, classes somewhere. I keep thinking of like knitting, I don't know, but again, it could be changing careers and going back to school, or, allowing yourself to be the person who is new on the job. But also recognizing too, like with the third line, even the sixth line, of course it would depend on like where you are in your sixth line experience, but you have a lot of information and a lot of wisdom with the third line. This is, like allowing yourself to experience life as it shows up to you or as it shows up around you. And like I said, like it is investing in yourself, whether that is time, your physical presence in studying. It could, of course, be monetarily as well if there is cost associated to that. But also, we have the 10 of Cups here, which is like literally joy and bliss and, community. Even the difference between the wish fulfillment card and, the joy and happiness, card over here. This is like finding like-minded people. That is finding success. Like this is probably the feeling that you were expecting to have like over here. And it's over here. I just started thinking to myself, like, is there a change that needs to be made? Like, I was going in that direction because the Page of Pentacles is here, but it could just be having like an innocent type of curiosity, and I believe the definition of practical is taking aligned steps. It's like turning an idea into action. And that's how it materializes. Like that's how it becomes real. The Hanged Man is transcension and suspension. Though physically trapped and bound, the Hanged Man overcomes his circumstance to gain spiritual and mental freedom. The physical body, which is interesting, we have a physical body here, and the physical world are but temporary vessels that can only partially contain the spirit, while the liberated soul treads freely and forever. The Hanged Man reminds us that all we need to succeed is already inside us, and that although the outside world can hinder us and harm us, we have a choice in every moment of every day to think and feel whatever we like. Just as the soul can transcend the body to achieve a greater awareness, so can the body transcend the limits of the mind in order to fulfill one's purpose. Though the Hanged Man speaks of delay and suspension, it is temporary. It is but a temporary pit stop on the way to finding true freedom. We may feel that our hands are tied, when in fact there are actions we could take right now to spark an immediate change. The Hanged Man urges us to seek those out. Also, the Hanged Man is Neptune. Neptune just went into Aries, which is like the action, you know, it's the spark. So I also, you know, like if this is obviously like everything I just read, right? But also I'm like if you are concerned with like the amount of time it'll take. I heard this thing one time. Granted, it was an older woman, and she was going to start something like law school or maybe medical school or something like that. That was going to take a decent amount of time for her to get through. And people are like, "Oh my, you know, like you're going to be." I can't remember the exact age. So you're going to be 57 by the time you graduate. And she's like, yeah, but I'm going to be 57 anyway. So why not be 57 and a lawyer or 57 and a doctor? Law might be a thing for you with the justice card out here. Activism, even, you know, like maybe even like something where you are, you know, protecting or representing other people in some capacity. But, you know, I mean, obviously I just use that because I just remembered that example. But that's kind of how like this Page of Pentacles is feeling. And also, I mean, there is success here too. And it's interesting, there's these two like sun symbols here, which, it's almost even like feels like, a solar return, but also maybe even look at your design and your personality sun gates and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy there. Because honestly, I think that's interesting. But like I said, it could be a solar return. I mean, literally, like the amount of shit that can happen in a year. I mean, the amount of stuff that can happen in a month. But let me just use an example of myself for a second. 2017, January, I was in Hawaii on my honeymoon. March, I was in marriage counseling with my husband, my now ex-husband. April, I had to put down my soul dog. The end of May, we separated. I asked for a divorce. June, I moved out. June 1st, I moved out. I moved 3 times in the next 6 months. And by November, I was like settled into the place I've been in ever since. All of that happened in a year, dude. That was also like the last, was that a 1 year or a 9? 2000, that was a 1 year. So we're in a 1 year now again, but yeah, just as an example, like the amount of change that can happen in a year, like I said, let alone a month, let alone 3 months, 6 months, whatever. But really it's like that other saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. That's like this Page of Cups. So don't let time hold you back. You know, like don't let that be a gauge of like, you know, oh, it's going to take so much time or whatever, you know. Because really, I mean, like we really are never old enough. Like we never are too old. There's so many examples of people who became actors or authors or whatever, you know, like in their 40s, in their 50s. And they're like, dude, I actually think that anytime before 40 is like, it's like everybody is living as a third line. Like, even though I know, you know, like with the 6th line, like up until your Saturn return, you're operating as a 3-3, and then you're up on the roof, and then after your second, like Saturn return, basically you're coming off the roof. So you guys specifically have that energy in your profile, but truly, at the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Wands, or Queen of Wands, confident. This is like bad bitch energy. This is like, yeah, I did that, and it's like the result of like, how you are going to come out on the other side of this is triumphant. Even, I mean, these two even look similar to me. Different elements, different, expression, but this is like taking the action, trusting your motivation. This is like, like being where you wish to be, or like where you want to be, but it's like more aligned and it like true for you. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.